So much going on right about now. The to-do list is endless. This time of year, it is easy to feel burnt out. And guess what? The current issue of Family Circle magazine says the World Health Organization has expanded its definition to an actual disease. So Dr. Karen Ruskin is joining us this morning to help us tackle the issue. So we're not just being drama when we're saying, I'm so burned out right now.
Well, some people might be being drama, but no, it's really serious. Burnout is a real issue. And you can experience burnout from being in a bad relationship or dealing with health issues of a family member or something dealing with at work. Or this time of year in particular, the holiday season, it is not uncommon to experience symptoms such as exhaustion, feeling overwhelmed, feeling disconnected and distant, feeling like you cannot even do the things you would normally do without help, which is feelings of helplessness, and feelings of hopelessness that you don't think this feeling of overwhelm is going to end. And those are the signs and symptoms of burnout syndrome.
And it sounds almost comparable to like a seasonal depression.
It sounds very much similar to seasonal depression, or if you will, even just depression. It's not exactly the same, but very similar, and that's why it is truly now a diagnosis, burnout syndrome. Typically it's referencing work-related, but we all know that it can be anything related.
So say everything is kind of piling up and you're experiencing all the things you're talking about, exhaustion and feeling kind of disconnected and overwhelmed. How do you address it? What can you do to break through it? I mean, people are intensely busy right now, so even there may be ways of self-care that you might have time for at another time of year you maybe don't have time for right now.
Thank you so much for asking, and I know your viewers want to know, and they're not alone, so I want to tell you you're not alone if this is something you're experiencing. Okay, so tips. Number one, self-love. What I mean by that is compassion to how you're feeling, giving yourself permission to feel what you're feeling instead of being hard on yourself. Also, physical activity is imperative during this time because our serotonin levels go down when we're feeling overwhelmed, so we need to boost them up. Tip number three, taking breaks, meaning as you're feeling overwhelmed, you feel like there's no time, as you were talking about, Olivia, to take a break, but you have to recharge. If you take just those 5 minutes, whether it's to listen to music, whether it's to have a meditative breath, whether it's to take a walk, this allows for a recharge, and it gives oxygen to the brain, of course, when one breathes. So these are just but a few key tips that a person can do.
Very good advice. How can we be helpful to a friend or relative who you're kind of seeing that this season they're experiencing the burnout maybe more than we've seen before?
Yeah, so I love the idea of relational awareness, and that's what you're talking about. So not only is it important to be aware of what we're feeling, but aware of what our friends or family are feeling. Just a simple call. Just a simple video on your phone and then send it over. Just a simple text, a visit, whatever you can do, allowing the person to know, hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm here for you. How are you today? When we know that there's others behind us, rah, shish, boom, buying us, when we know that there's others there for us, it helps us to feel not so alone, because disconnection and feeling distance when you're feeling overwhelmed is not uncommon. So being able to connect is really helpful.
Well, and the irony, doctor, is that so many people can relate to this. It actually should be a connective point between a lot of us if you're going to be open enough to talk about how you're feeling.
Exactly, but often people feel shame in feeling badly. People feel shame in feeling tired, feeling overwhelmed, and they feel like they're going to be judged negatively as though they're weak. Vulnerability makes a person feel weak, and so that's why when you reach out to someone to let them know you're there for them, it helps them actually feel empowered because they know that somebody cares about them.
Fantastic message for the holiday season. Thank you so much.
You're
Dr. Karen
welcome.
Ruskin, and your website is?
Dr. Karen Ruskin.
Keeping it simple. Appreciate it. Thank you.